Esto te despierta. Te levantas con ganas de entrenar, de ir a trabajar. El agua ya sale a 2 grados. Ya sale a 2 grados el agua, pero si nos hace falta hielo, pues yo creo que no hay que preocuparse mucho.
Canelo ain't in camp just shadowboxing and sipping Gatorade. My guy's training looks like a Rocky movie with a Gucci budget. Dude got strength coaches making him flip tractor tyres bigger than a small car, then hitting those ice baths like he's baptising his body in straight pain. No spa treatment, no luxury vibe. Just Canelo sitting in freezing water, looking like he's plotting on Bud's ribcage, while the rest of us would be crying for a towel. People forget, Canelo at 168 don't train to survive, he trains to destroy.
By my side, I'm gonna put my best, and I'm gonna try my best to put a great show. You know my style. My style, if I move, it's gonna be a great fight. If I go forward, it's gonna be a good fight. I always go there and try to do my best.
While Bud's out in the mountains trying to make gravity tap out, Canelo's in Mexico sparring like he's getting paid per knockout in camp. This ain't casual work, this is built different energy. And here's the kicker, those endless ice baths ain't just recovery, they're mental warfare. You can tell a fighter's mindset by how long they sit in freezing water without flinching.
I could compare like with the Canelo, yeah? He put all his energy, all his power on a single punch.
And Canelo treats that tub like another round in the ring. He knows Bud got the IQ to adjust, so he's sharpening his weapons and his mind to make him adjust under fire. And just when we're looking at Canelo freezing himself into a tank with those ice baths, boom, Roy Jones Jr. steps in like the OG uncle at the barbecue, dropping gems that make everybody stop eating.
If Canelo fights the absolute correct fight that he can fight, the only correct fight that he can fight, he does have a chance, and I think he could be victorious.
He's basically saying, yeah, big dude's got power, but greatness don't come with a tape measure. That's a shot of confidence straight to Bud's camp. Because if anyone's slick enough to flip the script, it's Crawford. Roy's out here reminding us that sometimes brains and skills outshine raw size. See, this is where Roy really stirred the pot. He's giving flowers to both guys.
A good big guy does beat a good bad guy, but a great little guy, does beat a great small guy, but a great small guy beats a good big guy. I think we're not talking about a good small guy. I think we're talking about a great small guy. You understand me? So this great small guy, like you saw with me, a great small guy can do anything.
But you can hear him leaning toward Bud like he's picking sides in a family cookout. And honestly, I get it. Canelo got the skills, the resume, the belts. But sometimes you look at him and wonder if he's still starving for greatness or just full from eating too good at the legacy buffet. Meanwhile, Crawford, man stays hungry like he skipped breakfast, lunch and dinner just to prove a point. That type of mindset, dangerous.
I'm not saying I'm leaning toward him. I love both guys. Both guys are great fighters. Well, I can't say I'm leaning. I am leaning toward Crawford. I am. And not because Canelo is not a great fighter, but because I don't know if Canelo's hungry. Bud has never got the recognition for what he deserves like Canelo has.
Roy basically told us, a man with nothing to prove is scary, but a man who still feels overlooked, that's nightmare fuel. So the real question is, does Canelo walk in there like the king of the castle, or does Bud kick the door down like he's tired of waiting for his crown? And let's be real, if Canelo shows up half hungry, Bud gonna season that plate and eat it in front of him. But if Canelo locks in, you're talking about a tank rolling downhill at full speed. Either way, this ain't no regular fight. It's pride, hunger, and legacy, all throwing punches at the same time.
Bud's still hungry for that recognition. When you're hungry like that, a determined man, it's very hard to detour. And like I said, because of Canelo's size and because of all his accolades, if he went out and fought the perfect fight, it's going to be hard for Bud to beat it.
Now hold up. Just when Roy had us nodding like, yeah, Bud might really cook here, Regis Prograis came in the room and slammed the brakes like an uncle telling you not to touch the thermostat. Regis straight up said, Forget all that greatness talk. Weight classes exist for a reason. And I feel him, cause let's be real, Canelo ain't exactly a small snack. That man built like he eats steel for breakfast and bench presses refrigerators for fun.
Crawford is really good, but look what he did to Jermall, just shut him down. You know what I mean? The power, it's just, they make weight classes for a reason. I think that, I don't see him beating Canelo. Could be wrong, but right now, I don't see him beating Canelo.
Regis looking at Bud like, bro, this ain't just chess, this is sumo chess. Wrong board, wrong pieces. And if you know Regis, he ain't sugarcoating nothing. He'll warn you like a friend, but it's the kind of warning that sound like a dare. Alright, so Regis wasn't done. He doubled down like he's holding pocket aces at the poker table. Man said Crawford stepping up to Canelo is like bringing a butter knife to a barbecue. You might slice some bread, but you ain't cutting no ribs.
Jermall was undisputed at 154, and Canelo hit him, and Jermall was like, hell no. Jermall took a knee. Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't, Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo.
And I can't lie, he's talking spicy, but it makes sense. Jermall felt Canelo's touch and immediately hit the canvas like Wi-Fi went out. Now imagine Bud, who ain't built at 168 yet, trying to take those same shots. That's like upgrading from Nerf guns to rocket launchers overnight. Still though, if Bud actually pulls this off, forget Mount Rushmore, put that man's face on the $100 bill. But until then, Regis got a point. Size, power, and that Mexican fighting pride don't come with a receipt you can return.
A lot of people see that Crawford can beat Canelo. It's just like that punch resistance is something else. They make weight classes for a reason. If he could beat him, man, I think he on the Mount Rushmore of fighters if Crawford can pull this off. But I don't see it.
First, we got Roy Jones Jr. talking slick, sounding like the wise uncle who's been through it all, saying Crawford got skills for days, but Canelo's greatness ain't no joke. Then Regis Prograis hops in like the blunt homie who don't sugarcoat nothing, reminding everybody, yo, weight classes exist for a reason. That's basically telling us you can't just walk into the heavyweight club with a featherweight ID. And then Jermall Charlo crashes the convo with receipts from his own bloodline.
My brother even told me that was his mistake that he made. He thought going up in weight, I gotta get massive, I gotta get big to beat Canelo. It made him slower, it made his reflexes slower. He'll tell you himself.
Saying his brother bulked up for Canelo and ended up moving like he was fighting underwater. That's real tough. He's basically warning Bud, don't turn into a gym rat just to eat Canelo's shots. Stick to what makes you dangerous. Charlo even said straight up, bulking made his brother slow, reflexes dipped. He didn't feel like the same fighter who styled on Tony Harrison. And he's saying, if Crawford tries that same trick, he won't be the Crawford that iced Gamboa or ran through dudes at welter. At 168, Bud might not even look like Bud. He might look like a rental version of himself. And the kicker? Charlo ain't even picking sides. He's like, I'm not choosing either of them dudes. That's when you know it's serious. When a fighter would rather sit back with popcorn than stamp a winner.
Well, the money is good, but I don't expect Terence Crawford to be the Terence Crawford that was knocking out Gamboa, doing all. I don't expect that type of Terence Crawford.
But does it look Canelo?
I'm not picking either one of their ass.
Now add in the money factor, Charlo admitting the bag is nice, but still saying the version of Crawford we love might not show up at all. It's almost like warning Bud, yeah, the payday gonna hit, but if you lose that magic, was it worth it? That's family level advice, not just fight talk. And the wild part, even with everybody telling him don't touch that stove, you know Bud got that stubborn streak. He just might grab the hot pan anyway, just to prove his hands don't burn. And think about it, if Bud pulls this off, we're talking about the type of upset your grandkids will hear about. The one they replay in documentaries for decades. But if Canelo stands his ground and proves size plus skill beats everything, then it's just another jewel in a crown that's already too heavy for most men to even lift. Either way, the fallout's going to be bigger than just a W or an L. It's about rewriting how we see limits in this sport. So strap in, because whatever happens, boxing will never look the same after this.
They get big to try to absorb Canelo punches and all this, but that's not the Crawford that we're going to see. And then Crawford going up there to fight Canelo at 68 when he's not a 68 pounder. Where's the motivation?
At the end of the day, this fight ain't just Canelo versus Crawford. It's a collision of size, skill, pride, and straight up legacy. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more bomb content. Because whether Bud shocks the system or Canelo locks the gates, one thing's for sure, history's getting written right in front of us, and we're all lucky enough to witness it.